Hello, this is Lucy. For today's recipe, I'm making chicken in wine and basil sauce. For this recipe, I'm preparing about 3 pounds of chicken thighs. The recipe requires that we leave the skin and the bone with the chicken. Sprinkle salt and pepper and then place the pieces of the chicken on a rack to dry and drip out any water. In the meantime, I'm cutting in small squares 6 slices of thick bacon. The smokier the bacon, the better and the more flavor you're gonna have. Place it in a small bowl and put it to the side until it's time to use it. Also slice very thinly 4 large garlic cloves. Again, put it in a small bowl until we have to use them. We also going to need 1 tablespoon of unbleached all-purpose flour, 2 cups of dry white wine, 1 cup of chicken broth, from 4 to 6 spice cloves. These are my giant basil leaves from my backyard. We're going to use about 10 to 12 fresh basil leaves, together with 2 or 3 sprigs of rosemary and 2 or 3 fresh bay leaves. I'm removing the rosemary leaves to mash them and make a paste-like consistency. We should obtain about 2 teaspoons of rosemary paste. And this is more or less. This is not a science project. You just cook into your taste. Also 1 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, and 3 tablespoons of butter. In a very hot deep pan, resistant to oven heat, pour about 1 tablespoon of olive oil. In this oil, we're going to fry the bacon until it's really crispy and brown. Once the bacon is brown and crispy, add the garlic, and we are going to wait for the garlic to turn lightly brown. Then we remove the garlic and the bacon. Place it in a small bowl and put it to the side until later use. And I'm cooking in high temperature. I'm adding 1 additional tablespoon of olive oil, in which I'm going to place the chicken with the skin side down. And I'm not going to move the chicken until the skin is completely brown and crispy. Once the skin is crispy and brown, we turn to the other side, and again, don't move them or flip them until it's time to remove them from the pan. Don't worry if the chicken is not completely cooked inside at this moment. Still using the same pan, I'm going to remove extra fat from the pan, leaving about 1 tablespoon of fat. And at this time, I'm going to lower the heat to medium. I'm adding the all-purpose flour to the oil left in the pan, and I'm going to let it turn lightly brown. I'm making sure I scrape the bottom of the pan from now on every step that I'm taking. Once the flour is slightly brown, I'm going to add the wine into the pan, again scraping the bottom of the pan. I'm also going to add the chicken broth. Scraping the bottom of the pan. I'm going to add the red pepper flakes, the bay leaves, the cloves, and the basil leaf. And this mixture is going to start boiling and it's going to start making a gravy. It's thickening a little bit. And I'm going to add about half of the portion of the rosemary paste, about 1 teaspoon, saving the other portion for later. Once the mixture is boiling, then I'm going to add the chicken with the skin side up, without wetting the skin. Make sure the pan is deep enough and wide enough to make just 1 layer of the chicken. I'm going to turn off the stove and transfer the chicken uncovered into the oven at 300 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's going to cook for 1 hour and 15 minutes. Once the chicken is out of the oven, we're going to remove the chicken from the pan. Place the chicken in a serving platter with the skin side up. Then I'm going to remove anything that is inside the gravy, all the leaves, and place it in the stove, let it boil once again. Add the other half of the rosemary paste, the butter, and the lemon juice. Then we're going to let it reduce to a thick gravy. Once you have the gravy done, then pour it back with the chicken in the serving platter. And then finally we're going to sprinkle the bacon and the garlic over the chicken before serving. Buen provecho. I hope you like this recipe. Come back to see me again. Remember, the ingredients and the steps to take for this recipe are in the description below the video. I hope to see you again. Please subscribe. Come back to see me again. I see you then. Bye bye.